From New York City, it's Wendy Williams. Today, Wendy's Hot Talk panel debates the week's hottest topics, including reports that Leah Michelle is dating a former male escort. Plus, is Kendra Wilkinson filming her marriage scandal for her reality show? Wendy's got the details. And all the latest, juicy, hot topics. Now, here's Wendy.
Doing well-er. She's returning to The View. Kendra Wilkinson. I am shocked to hear that you're exploiting that mess on reality TV. And I have a sneak peek of a new dating show that you might want to watch. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. I love the love. Thank you very much. So, I'm really excited. Today is the big day that I've been preparing for. I'm heading to Vegas right after the show to do my one-woman show at the Venetian. And it's a sold-out show. Like I was telling you yesterday, I'm really excited. I feel very prepared. I'm not nervous. I hope to receive lots of love in the room. So shout out to all 750 people that'll be there. I will see you there. But here's the treat for everybody who won't be there. Next week, I'll show you some highlights from my show. Okay. So music mogul Brian Birdman Williams was supposed to be here today, but I know. Birdman had a scheduling issue at the very, very last minute. You know how it is with the life of these moguls. Scheduling at the very last minute, but we spoke to him on the telephone earlier today, and he will be here next week. Mr. Williams, your public awaits. So we'll see you here. And remember when Leah Remini was here and she said that she gave me a necklace and I thanked her for it when she came out and hugged her? This is the necklace. Look, Rambo, get the shot. Look. How you doing? How you doing? Good, right? Thank you. Thank you, Leah. All right, it's official tishel. Rosie O'Donnell is returning to The View. I like this idea a whole lot, I was telling you. Okay, so now so far we have Rosie and we have Whoopi and we still have to fill the other seats. I think that this is a great idea. I had said all along they need to bring Rosie back, even before the firation of the other, or excuse me, the quitting of Jenny and Sherry. Even before, they left, I was saying, they needed to have thought about bringing Rosie or Star Jones back a long time ago because those were some of The View's best years. Well, Whoopi's the contracted moderator. In other words, in her contract, it says that she's the boss of all the girls at the table. Not boss, but in terms of, remember like when Meredith was on The View, she sat in the Whoopi seat. And at one point when Rosie was on The View, Rosie was sitting in the Whoopi seat. The Whoopi seat is the hot seat. That is the seat that is commanding, driving the bus. That's the one that's saying, okay, we'll be right back with more View. Or, cutting stories off and going to the next story, keeping it moving. So that's a very important job. That's our girl Whoopi's job. Well, yesterday, Whoopi went on a rant against people, not me. And I'll explain why she wasn't talking about me. But against people who think that she and Rosie will clash. Take a look.
I'm tired of people saying, oh, you know, if this one comes in, if this one comes in. I don't argue with people. We have spirited discussions.
Yes.
I don't fight with people. It's not my way.
That's
Quit trying to make me into something I'm not. I'm not a little girl with cat claws. I'm not a cat. I'm a human being. I'm a girl with a fist.
That's right.
Okay? And so I'm just telling y'all, The View, it's gonna evolve as it always has. So quit trying to make something happen and let whatever's gonna happen, happen. And we hope you will join us when we come back.
I like pissed Whoopi. You know who she's talking to? She's talking to people like Elizabeth Hasselbeck and other people who think that, you know, by having combative Rosie O'Donnell there, and very strong Whoopi Goldberg, you know, that's an Emmy, a Tony, like she's won every award. She's one of those. That these two women are going to go at it. But if you watch our show every day, and I know that you will have scheduling issues, but if you watch the other day, then you'll remember me saying, Whoopi is not a fighter. Whoopi just throws silent shade. She's been doing it for years since she's been at The View. This is what she does. Act like this is the panel, and I'm in the Whoopi chair, and we're all talking about something. The second Barbara Walters used to say something that Whoopi didn't like, or whatnot, and they're talking, all of a sudden Whoopi doesn't agree. She doesn't fight, she goes like this. She gives him the thigh. She gives him and then look, and then she leans on her chair, almost like, oh, please, hurry up and end. And then she'll look at the camera and bring us into, you know, as if we're reading her mind, bring us into her thoughts of eye rolling and tooth sucking. Whoopi doesn't fight like that. Rosie and Whoopi will not fight because Rosie will start, but Whoopi's not having it, and she will give Rosie the thigh. By the way, so, you know, I was watching The View the other day and I saw somebody that I've known for years, my friend Sunny Hostin. She is, this is Sunny right here. Sunny is Hispanic. Sunny is a lawyer by trade. She's smart as all get out. The first time I met her, I was on the radio here in New York and I interviewed her and we had such great, smart conversation. But you know what else? She also knows how to get down with the hot topics. I'll tell you, she is a lawyer by trade. She is a CNN commentator, I believe. She's married to a doctor. They have children. And I don't know how old she is, but she looks like she's lived enough to be smart and young enough to still make mistakes and giggle like a girl. And I watched The View's Hot Topics the other day and they were talking about everything from, you know, what's going on, you know, across seas, you know, regarding, you know, drama in the world. And they talked about Justin Bieber, and she was on it. She knew it. She talks regular hot topics. That's my thought about The View, is that if you're going to be on The View, then you've got to be a well-rounded person. And when I say well-rounded, I mean it's not just about should abortion be illegal or not legal. It's about talk those the hot topics that we like, right? Right? So Sunny is there. I know that you might not know her, but just trust your girl, Wendy, that if they pick her as a panelist, you won't be disappointed, right? Okay. You know, sometimes I can be very lowbrow, but even I'm not low enough brow to exploit what Kendra and Hank are going through on TV. This might be lower than Tori and Dean. That's low. Well, here's the thing. Remember, Hank reportedly had an affair with a transsexual named Ava. So, are we gonna see Hank fall out of the closet on this reality show? I don't know. Is he gonna take a lie detector test and this is all fake? I don't know. What lengths do people go to for attention if that's the case, if they're lying about this whole case, you know? According to Us Weekly magazine, they're in the process of filming the aftermath of Hank's cheatation for reality TV that's gonna start airing in the fall. And I mean, Dean allegedly cheated with a woman named Emily Goodhand. But we have never seen Emily Goodhand. You know how a lot of times the side piece, you know, comes out and always talking and talking and talking. I mean, Ava, the transsexual, Ava, the transgender woman, Ava's doing a lot of, Ava won't be quiet. Oh my God, she's doing a lot of talking. Look online, she's talking. She tells, it only took 20 minutes, he paid me $500. Yes! He came to my house, I didn't expect him. He found me on the internet, he thought I looked nice. He came over to the house. I was swimming in the pool with my roommate. I answered the door in a bikini. I was so shocked that he came so quickly to our house because I thought that it would take a moment for him to come over for the date. And then, I mean, she gets into the sordid details about exactly how the deed was allegedly done. And she said when he finished in 20 minutes, he went in her bathroom and took a shower. So he was luxuriating, allegedly. And then he gave her, he gave $500 and drove away. And then allegedly called her later and offered her $2,000 to keep her mouth shut. And I know, that's not very much. My problem with money, though, to keep your mouth shut, is that whether he gave $2,000 allegedly or $200,000, the extortionist always comes back for more. So it's not even worth it. You might as well just go home and tell your wife what happened. Anyway, but then Dean, Dean was with the woman Emily Goodhand. In my opinion, though, and Dean and Tori are low for exploiting their mess too when they have 4 children, 7 years and younger, and they're living this out on reality TV. And in this day and age of everything being saved in cyberspace, the kids are going to be able to go back and look. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I want to take a poll and then I want to move on from this story. You don't have to agree with me, but I've already stated my opinion. I think that taking Kendra and Hank is worse than Tori and Dean. Clap if you think Kendra and Hank are worse. Clap if you think Tori and Dean are worse. Kendra and Hank, you win! Okay, so Sharon Stone is on the prowl. Sharon says that now that her kids are older, she's ready to, oh gosh. I mean, she normally dresses so nicely. But that's showing skin in an ugly dress for no reason. Nice breasts though, look. I mean, don't you wish at 58 years old? It's 57, same difference. Can you go braless at 57 and have them turned up nice? See, they're not floppy, they're turned up. Nice. Hip bone, the whole bit. She's a hot woman. Anyway, she's been putting all that hotness on the burner until her kids get old enough to date, which I got an opinion, I do. She says that now that her kids are old enough, she's ready, and here's a quote, and then we'll continue discussing. She says, "What's happened is my kids have reached the age where I feel comfortable to date. I didn't want to date when they were little. Who needs a bunch of people running in and out of their lives? Now I feel comfortable dating." I understand. I understand and I agree, but when you look like this right here, and this right here doesn't last forever. We all know that, like Judge Judy says, beauty fades, but stupid is forever. Like beauty, it doesn't really fade, it changes, because I think Raquel Welch is still a very beautiful woman. There's so many, there are beautiful women. Carmen Cass, I think, the model with the salt and pepper hair, she's still very beautiful. Not for nothing, her kids are, the oldest is 14. She has 3 sons. The oldest is 14. Then she has one, I think, that's like 10 and the other 9, and the other one is 8. I say, listen, get a babysitter. And you don't have to bring your men home. Who's talking about bringing men home? Please, I'm not wasting this, and mommy has needs too. Now look, I'll be back at midnight. And that's the thing being a mother. There's a fine line between making it all about your kids and also taking care of yourself. And I go through this guilt constantly just being a working mother. I couldn't imagine, being a single mother, thinking about dating or not dating, and when do you introduce and when don't you introduce. But it's a fine line, but I'll tell you what, I couldn't suffer myself for the purpose of my kids. I think that there is nothing on God's green earth meaner or worse than a mean mother. You know what I mean? When mommy is mean, nothing is right. Right? Happy mom, happy life. That's what I say. So let's talk about another mom, Lisa Rinna, another hot woman. I love my Lisa Rinna, but I don't love that she's gonna be on the Housewives of Beverly Hills. I think that this is a lowbrow move for a woman who has a very accomplished career. Lisa's been here on our talk show before. The first time I met Lisa and her husband Harry, they came on my radio show once or 3 times. So I've known Harry and Hamlin and Lisa Rinna for years. But when I'm in the purple chair, I have to call it like I see it. I can't lie. Housewives are lowbrow. Lise, she's reportedly confirmed for 1 episode. But to me, that's 1 episode too many. Well, they're gonna try to make her a regular. Allegedly, Harry is against it. You know, Harry's on Mad Men. And Harry is against it. And see, that's a red flag right there, because you know what happens to people's relationships when they get on reality TV. I mean, you don't wanna mess, you guys got some, they have some good, strong Hollywood love, and the kids are adorable, and they're just a handsome couple. And she's 50 years old, and she's still dipping it and doing it. But housewives are supposed to be unknown people who are thirsty for the spotlight. You know, and for the life of me, I can't understand why if a woman is already wealthy, why she would want to be a housewife. Like, I'm still scratching my head, and I adore Vanderpump. I don't even understand why she's there. She had dough before Housewives. Same thing with Maloof. She's on Maloof. Adrienne Maloof is worth $300 million with all, yes, exactly, $300 million. And, you know, Housewives wrecked her marriage to Paul Nassif. Sidebar, I was over at a TV studio doing a project the other day, and I'm sitting there and the door is open to my dressing room, and me and my glams are eating and talking, and down the hall we hear, you know, shoes clicking. So we look at the hall, and you know who it was? It was Dr. Terry from Botched and his wife from the Beverly Hills Housewives, and they were on their way to interview on the same show. But when I saw Dr. Terry, I fanned out. By the way, they make a nice couple together, but I didn't fan out over her. I fanned out over him because I love the show Botched, and I think that he and Adrienne's ex-husband Paul, they get along so well. The thing about Botched to me is the chemistry of the doctors, you know? Anyway, so back to Adrienne Maloof. So the Housewives ruined her relationship with Paul. You know, she ended up leaving the show because she didn't want them to film the downward spiral of her relationship to Paul. And now that the divorce is over and she still has her $300 million, she's going back to Housewives? But see, Lisa Rinna, that's for Adrienne Maloof. I guess Adrienne Maloof really, you know, is drunken with the spotlight. But Lisa Rinna, that's low. You have to have some Hollywood girlfriends who are actresses who are pulling your coattail and telling you, well, if they won't, I will. I just think it's, look, I'll even let my co-host get in on it. Clap if you think that this is the worst decision ever. And wait, one more clapation. Clap if you think that when you have a solid marriage and children, and your husband says to you, baby, I'm working, I'm on Mad Men, you know, what do we want for something? I'm not trying to count their money, but I know Lisa Rinna has Belgrade. She's got a clothing line. She does very well for herself. Clap if you think that she needs to listen to her husband and stay off reality TV. That's all. I hope that helped, Lisa. Okay, so the Richard Pryor movie is coming. To the big screen. Sorry, Houston family. And they're already, Apparently you were watching that day, sir, when we talked about, the Houston family is very, very upset that the movie is going to be on the small screen. Well, Richard Pryor is going to be on the big screen. Do you approve? Yeah. But there's already drama with the casting. You see, Nick Cannon is in talks to play the part of Richard. Hey, Lunel! See that lady on his shirt? That's my comedy coach for Vegas later on tonight. That's Lunel. Love her. Anyway, so look, so Nick is supposed to be playing the part of Richard, but the family's objecting. The family, meaning his daughter Rain, and I guess he's got a couple of other children. They're objecting. Richard's kids are pushing for Marlon Wayans to play their dad. Listen, neither one of them look like Richard Pryor, but it's not a look. It's the embodiment of the spirit. Richard's widow is pushing for Terrence Howard to play the part. Widow Pryor, please sit down. Now, there's nothing wrong with Terrence Howard. He's a great actor. He's got a hot head in real life, but he's a great actor, but not as Richard Pryor. I think, first of all, we don't know him for comedy. Not that this is a funny movie, because, Richard was a womanizer. Richard ran down the hall on fire. That's the kind of stuff, playing with the drugs. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see in this movie. But I also know that in with the serious drama of this movie, there's got to be some sort of comedy. I say, you know what? If the younger generation of Pryors, that would be the daughter and the siblings and whatnot, if they say go with Marlon Wayans, then I say go with Marlon Wayans as well. I mean, originally I'd heard that it was supposed to be Mike Epps, but that was years ago when they were trying to get this movie together. Now, Mike Epps would be better than all of them. But if it's not going to be Mike Epps, yes, let it be Marlon Wayans. The kids know Marlon and say that he just naturally embodies the Richard Pryor experience. So I'd like to see that. Yeah. So there's a new reality show coming out. I won't be watching it, but maybe, look, come on now. I got a dead leg when I keep it crossed that long. And sometimes you guys ask, I see on Facebook, why do you always cross the same leg? I don't know, creature of habit. I do the same thing every time I say, it's now time for Hot Topics. And I run over, right? I hike up the same leg to hike up onto my chair. I smooth my dress and I go like that. Creature of habit. Anyway, but thanks for being so observant. Ow. All right, so this new reality show, everybody, it's on VH1, and it's a dating game where the single people are required to let it all hang out, literally. It's our hot clip of the day. Take a look.
This is a radical dating experience, but it will allow you to date in the most honest way possible.
Yay! I didn't even get to buy you a drink yet.
I know!
Right?
This is dating naked.
You wanna give me a look? Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. You come here often?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, there we go.
Eve.
Adam.
What the am I doing?
As I'm getting undressed for the first time, what's going through my mind is it too late to run?
Top of the morning to you.
I'm gonna die.
I mean, everybody, this is what TV has come to. This is a show that I will not be watching. I have no interest in watching this show. Clap if you will be watching. Wow, you really are my people. I thought that we would argue about this. The reason that I won't be watching is because, most people aren't perfect when they're naked. And mature people understand that, because we're not perfect, that's why we have to fall in love or fall in like with somebody's mind and their sense of humor and their accomplishments and things like that. Then once you get down to do the nasty, even though one boob might be bigger than the other or his penis might not be what you like, but you've already fallen for him up here. And mature people understand. I'm trying to be mature and have a mature conversation, but they're laughing. I'll talk to you. Look. Mature people mature people understand that you fall for somebody, warts and all. There's only one thing that would make me run from the bedroom. And I'm not talking about it here, I'm talking about it in Vegas tonight. And I don't care how much money you have, I don't care how hot your body is. There is one thing that would make me say, oh, hell no, I'm out. Dating Naked If You Care premieres July 17th at 9 on VH1. Okay, we've got more great show for you, everyone. Our Hot Talk panel is gonna break down the biggest stories of the week, but up next, it's time for Celebrity Fan Out. Don't go far.
Wendy, I know your birthday is coming up. I love you. You're like my sister in my head. Every time I come on the show, I have such a good time. And I'm just wishing you the best birthday ever. The love you show me, I just want to reciprocate it because you deserve it. You're a good person and a sexy woman, a sexy, sexy woman. How you doing?
Love right back to you, Taraji. Thank you so much. Okay, it's time for everybody's favorite Celebrity Fan Out. I love it. I love it. Okay. Our first Celebrity Fan Out comes from Helen Arlene T., who watches The Wendy Show here in New York City on WNYW. And Helen Arlene says, how you doing, Wendy? I went to a movie premiere and snagged the holy grail of all photos with the star of the movie, Brad Pitt. Wow. It's a big deal. She says, it was such a mob scene, but Brad was cool as a cucumber. Wonderful, that's a good one. Okay, our next Celebrity Fan Out comes from Charles B., who watches The Wendy Show in Detroit, Michigan on WJBK. Charles writes, hey Wendy, how you doing? I was at a luncheon and got to take a selfie afterward with the keynote speaker. It was Rosie O'Donnell. Look, he says, she caught me tweeting during her speech and told me to give her my phone. As a result, for the entire speech, I was the butt of her jokes, but it was all in good fun. Oh, wow. Next Celebrity Fan Out comes from Kristen F., who watches The Wendy Show on WNYW in Manalapan, New Jersey. Kristen writes, how you doing? I was running some errands with my son Jake and ran into the biggest celebrity in our town. It was Mike, the Situation Sorrentino. He was going into a tanning salon. Guess he was working on his GTL. By the way, Mike and his family, the Sorrentinos, will be here on our show next week. So, to promote their new reality show surrounding a tanning salon called The Sorrentinos. Yeah. Our final Celebrity Fan Out comes from Sean R., who watches The Wendy Show on KTTV in Lakewood, California. Sean writes, hey Wendy, my friends and I were at an event for the store we work at, and a very special celebrity made an appearance. It was Eva Mendes. Sean writes, she was just lovely. She's expecting a child with Ryan Gosling in just a matter of months. Yeah. So thank you all so much. I love Celebrity Fan Out. If you ever have an encounter with a celebrity and you'd like to share it with us, come on, go to wendyshow.com. Up next, it's time to spice things up with our Hot Talk panel, breaking down the biggest stories of the week. Don't go far. So it's time to discuss the week's hottest topics in the latest edition of Hot Talk. Joining me from Entertainment Tonight is our correspondent, Brooke Anderson. Also the host of Just Jenny on Sirius XM. Say hello to Jenny Hutt.
Hi.
And entertainment reporter and host of the podcast Wired In with Shagun is Shagun.
Hello, everybody. Hey.
Thank you. Okay, good. All right, so let's get started. A North Carolina mother was temporarily banned from Facebook. You might have heard this story after she posted a photo of her young daughter's booty exposed. She claimed that it was innocent. We had to put a ribbon over it because we did. But you see crack and stuff. The mom says that, look, she was just, mirroring the Coppertone Girl pose from 1953. Shagun, do you think that it was right for them to ban her from Facebook?
Well, first of all, the nerve of Facebook, the hypocrisy, the absolute gall of Facebook. I can pull up on my phone right now a man punching a woman on Facebook and it'll get 100 likes. This is not pornography. The Supreme Court, highest court in the land, has their ruling on pornography. And they say, I don't know it when I see it, but this ain't it. That ain't it. It's her mom. It ain't a pervert. It's her mom.
Well, I agree that there needs to be more of a balance in what they are banning and how it is subjective and how they are judging it. But 1953 with the original Coppertone ad, that was a much more innocent time for a lot of people. And today, because we are more aware...
Which people? Because in 1953, we wouldn't be at the same table.
I'm not talking about
it wasn't innocent for everybody.
But you know what?
What I'm talking about
is
because
also a
we
cartoon.
It is a cartoon, and because we are more aware of child pornography and predators and pedophiles, we do have to rethink what we post to our children, what we think is
someone
cute.
is pleasuring or doing any type of unwayward thing?
It might not be you, but as far as I'm concerned, yeah, that serves that mother right. Yes, go, Jenny.
Yes.
Okay, wait, Wendy. I don't think it serves that mother right. Facebook can do what it wants. Facebook is entitled to ban whomever for whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just a tushy, and tushies are for biting.
But Facebook is really, like, no pun intended, calling the kettle black because we talk about tan lines. But come on, they have stuff on Facebook of people committing suicide. They have all types of weird stuff.
Facebook does need to start throwing more people off Facebook. They need, but as far as the pedophilia and child pornography and stuff, I think that this woman made an innocent mistake to her. It is forgivable, so she is temporarily banned. Hopefully, she will learn from this. I'm going to read to you what the mom says. I was completely shocked and outraged. Nowhere did I see anything pornographic about the photo. There was nothing sexual about it. It's innocent. Mom is naive.
All she needs to do, you know what she needs to do?
She thought it was harmless, but we do have a responsibility, a job as parents to protect our children because they cannot do it.
She needs to twerk. If she needs to twerk upside down, and then Facebook will bring her back. Because if you twerk upside down in a thong, Facebook will let you splash that.
I tell you,
I totally get though. I think that the Facebook needs to re-examine everything about it.
Maybe.
But we can start one mom or one person at a time. And by the way, did you see Brandy Glanville? Because I think that also.
To me is bad.
All right, show
That's
Brandy
worse.
Glanville's boys. Her 2 sons in underwear.
That's worse.
That's nothing.
That's worse.
That's her son.
Hold on a minute.
That's her son. That's her
son. How about her son's privacy? Those little boys, they get older, are not going to be happy that their little whatevers are showing a little bit.
Their little whatevers are covered up with boxer briefs.
Their little whatevers are there.
Listen, I don't have kids, but I love telling parents how to raise theirs. That ain't bad. That's not bad.
I can tell Shagun is not a parent. Here's what we know about Brandy.
I would never do that to my kids either. Brandy defended it. I don't agree. I think Brandy needs to be thrown off temporarily also.
Well, we know Brandy overshares and overserves herself, right?
Well,
and she probably overserved herself before she shared this.
And
weeks ago, didn't she? You talked about this. She called one of her kids an a-hole and another bad word. So we know that she has no filter.
I've been called that so often. I thought that was my first name.
But when you have kids, exactly. Wait until you hear what I call my son tonight at the Vegas.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's not that bad.
She has no filter, and it's reflected in her Twitter. So we expect this from Brandy.
Let's move along. All right. The Glee star, Leah Michele, has a new relationship, and people are talking about it. Reports are that she's dating an alleged former male escort who charged up to $6,000 for a weekend for companionship to lonely women. Jenny, would you ever date a former sex worker?
Absolutely not. Seriously? Really? First of all, look, there's a double standard. Like, I really do believe that I want a man to be with some women, but before he's with me, but I don't want him to be with women whose names, his real names, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, people should not be paying my man for sex ever, before me, after, or during.
During, I would hope not.
We're talking date, right? Not married, because people can learn a thing or two maybe from them, you know.
Ew.
I'm kidding.
You're so girl next door.
No, honey.
Really?
Here's my point on this. Here's my point on this. Everybody has a past or questionable histories, and some people, when they want to move past it, when they want to move past it, if both people want to move past it, then there you go.
Here's the thing.
Wasn't Channing Tatum a stripper for a hot second?
I don't have any illusions. I don't have any illusions that the woman that I'm going to be with, I'm going to be the one to.
I would date a former prisoner. I would date a former drug dealer. I would date a lot of stuff, but I could not possibly date a former sex worker.
Who are we to judge, Wendy?
We're the Wendy Williams show. That's what we're here for.
We're here to judge.
I'm judging.
It's not about judging that he was a sex worker. It's about dating.
No,
but if they want to move past it and he wants a fresh start and everybody, and there are no
but the bad thing is that he says he's not a sex worker. He's on a website for sex workers.
Exactly.
So,
and he only quit when he met Leah Michelle. I'm not judging him. I'm judging her. Really, girl? You're so cute. You have so many options. Listen, Hot Talk panel is over. Thank you, panelists, for taking my breath away. Again. For more information on my panelists, go to wendyshow.com. Ask Wendy is next.
Happy birthday, Wendy. You're 50 years young.
Yes. Welcome to our decade.
Welcome to the fabulous 50.
And trust me, it gets better and better.
Thanks, Cotton Cleveland ladies. Okay, it's time for Ask Wendy. How you doing?
How you doing?
You're very well. How can I help?
Great. Well, my husband has been dressing the same way since we got married 17 years ago.
Okay.
And I liked it back then, but it's getting a little stale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's got like these Velcro sandals that he wears everywhere. He brought them to New York with us, yes. And he's wearing them to plays and everywhere else. And I just don't know what to do. I buy him clothes. He doesn't want to wear them.
Oh.
Leaves them in the closet. Any advice? Can I get rid of them?
You're not changing him.
I'm not changing him.
I mean, he is who he is. Yeah. You knew that 17 years ago.
I did.
And, you know, you're not going to change him without making him resent you and hurt his feelings. I don't believe in changing people. I believe in manipulating.
Oh, good. Can I do that?
Yes, well, you can manipulate him,
I would do that.
like on date nights.
Oh.
You guys still have date nights?
Well, sure.
Oh, well,
we could.
On date nights, maybe you make a particular request.
Okay.
You know, but other than that, 99.9, you ain't gonna change the lug, and you love him.
I do love him.
Then there you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. All right, very quick. How you doing?
¿Cómo tú estás? That's in Spanish. How you doing?
Good. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien. I'm Wendy. My name is Stephanie. And I know my boyfriend for 7 years, but we've been dating for 6 months now. However, he got invited to go to a strips club with his friends, but I don't want him to go. I think strippers are gross. How do I get him to give up the strippers, not go, and not scare him away?
You're gonna scare him away. You've only been with him for 6 months, and you're already making demands. I've been to enough strip clubs in my life. As a matter of fact, I'm hitting them out in Vegas. And I can tell you that it's pretty innocent as long as he's not going to the boom boom room. It's
okay.
and that listen, it's pretty innocent. Don't be a cornball. How old are you?
25.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, take it from your old Aunt Wendy. It's okay, girl. It's okay. Up next, everybody. Look. How do you tell your fat friend that she needs to lose some weight before breaking out the bikini for summer? More Ask Wendy is next. Okay, we're back. And we're still doing Ask Wendy. And you're the friend with a friend that is not ready for bikini because she's a little fluffy.
Yes, I am. And how you doing, by the way?
How you doing?
So my really good friend of mine is currently, she put on some breakup weight, about 30 pounds, and we're going to celebrate our dirty 30s in Punta Cana. And how do I tell her that maybe she should come with me to the gym or wear a one piece?
You can't. Even I'm not that mean. Like, you can't. You're gonna hurt her feelings. You wanna know what? If she has the confidence to put on a bikini, at least she's not doing it down at the Belmar Beach here in our, you know what I'm saying? Here, look, girl, where you might run into people that you know.
Yes.
At least nobody knows you all in Punta Cana. Let her do her thing. There are many of us who wear bikinis when we shouldn't need to wear a bikini.
Yes.
Check me in Vegas. Yes, you can't say anything to her, and nothing about dressing on the side. You don't need, maybe a glass of white wine. It's less calories than
No
this
eating
creamy.
after 10 o'clock, 8
No,
o'clock?
no, you can't. I mean, that's the kind of friend I am. I only say it like I mean it in that chair over there. When it comes to real life people and hurting people's feelings, I just can't. I'm not that girl.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy your
you,
birthday.
Wendy. Thank you.
Yeah. Up next, everybody, we're going to reveal our Instagram winner of the day. Don't go far. Time for Wendy's Instagram. The celebrity look of the day is Tia Mowry Hardtrick. She celebrated her 36th birthday by wearing this backless dress. It is sexy and stunning, and the Instagram winner with her own twist on the trend is Anna from Los Angeles, rocking that leopard maxi dress with the back out. Anna, I'm sending you my mini How You Doing Diva fan. We'll be right back. I love you for watching today. Have a wonderful weekend. Vegas, here I come. Party time! I'll see you Monday right here on Wendy. Bye-bye.
How you doing?